Chapter 14. The Candyman. The dark web was inefficient. It required Tor browsers, crypto wallets, and PGP encryption keys. It involved waiting for packages from Slovenia that might get seized by customs. It was a high-latency network. Arthur Vane preferred the gray web. The gray web existed in the review sections of Google Maps and Yelp. It existed in the coded language of dissatisfied customers. Arthur sat in his darkened apartment, scanning the reviews for Kings County Pain and Wellness, located in East New York. User J_Smith 88. 1-star wait times are insane. 3 hours just to see the doc for 5 minutes. But he writes what you need if you have cash. No insurance accepted. User Maria_30. 5 stars. Dr. Vance is the only one who understands real pain. He doesn't treat you like a criminal. Expensive but worth it. User A non-user. 1-star place is a pill mill. Avoid unless you want to be surrounded by zombies. Arthur smiled. Target acquired. Data doesn't lie, he whispered. Only users do. Wednesday, 9 a.m. Arthur called in sick to the office. He told Miller he was having a follow-up appointment with his neurologist regarding the histaminergic reaction. He took the L train to the end of the line, then a bus that smelled of diesel and wet dog. East New York was a different planet than the financial district. It was a landscape of low-rise brick buildings, auto body shops, and check-cashing stores. The air felt heavier here, thick with humidity and exhaust. Arthur checked his reflection in a storefront window. He was wearing his civilian camouflage jeans, a nondescript hoodie, and a baseball cap pulled low. He looked like a shadow. He found the clinic. It was a storefront between a bodega and a shuttered laundromat. The windows were covered with reflective tint. The sign above the door was faded, the letters peeling. Kings County Pain and Wellness. Dr. Silas Vance, MD. There was no handle on the door, just a buzzer and a camera. Arthur pressed the buzzer. Buzz. The lock clicked. He stepped inside. The waiting room was small, hot, and silent. There were 10 plastic chairs, all occupied. Arthur scanned the demographic. 2 elderly women with canes. 3 men in construction vests, looking dusty and tired. A young couple in the corner, skinny and twitchy, scratching at their arms. Arthur stiffened. Opioid users, his mind categorized. High-risk vectors. He felt a surge of superiority. He wasn't like them. They were chasing a high. He was chasing functionality. They were recreational. He was professional. He walked to the reception window. It was thick plexiglass, scratched and clouded. A woman with elaborate acrylic nails slid a clipboard through the slot. ID and 200 cash. Up front, she said without looking at him. I haven't seen the doctor yet, Arthur said. Policy, she snapped. Consultation fee. Non-refundable. Arthur pulled an envelope from his hoodie pocket. He slid 2 crisp $100 bills through the slot. Arthur Vane, he said. She took the money. She handed him a clipboard with a single photocopy blurred form. Name, address, pain level, 1 to 10. That was it. No medical history. No insurance info. No list of current medications. Arthur sat in the last available chair. He filled out the form. Pain level 8. High enough to warrant treatment, low enough to be coherent. He waited. 45 minutes passed. The room was a study in entropy. The construction workers fell asleep. The twitchy couple argued in whispers. Arthur sat motionless. He was running a background process in his mind, optimizing the server load for the Rostova project, while his body sat in purgatory. Vane. A heavy metal door opened. A security guard, a massive man with a bored expression, nodded his head. Arthur stood up and walked through. The hallway was lined with exam rooms, but the doors were all open. They were empty. The guard led him to the office at the end of the hall. Dr. Silas Vance sat behind a desk that was buried under stacks of paper files. There was no computer, no electronic records, Arthur noted. Plausible deniability. Vance was in his 70s. He had yellowed skin and hair that looked like steel wool. He was smoking a cigarette, tapping the ash into a coffee mug that said "Number 1 Grandpa." "Vane," Vance grunted, looking at the clipboard. "Says here you have pain. Level 8. Arthur launched the script. "I have severe idiopathic neuropathy stemming from an L5 compression," Arthur began, his voice calm and precise. "I was seeing a specialist in Chicago, but the transition to New York has disrupted my regimen. I've been on gabapentin 600 milligrams 3 times daily. It's the only thing that stabilizes the nerve conduction without cognitive impairment." Vance didn't look up. He took a drag of the cigarette. "Chicago," Vance said. "Windy city." "Yes," Arthur said. "The issue is that the local pharmacies are flagging early refills because of the travel. I need a dedicated provider who understands chronic pain management protocols." Vance finally looked at him. His eyes were watery and cynical. He had seen 1,000 Arthurs. He had seen the desperate, the liars, the actors. But he also saw the clothes. Even the jeans were expensive. He saw the watch. "You corporate?" Vance asked. "Consultant," Arthur said. "Data architecture." Vance nodded slowly. "Stressful work." "It requires focus," Arthur said. "Pain destroys focus." Vance crushed the cigarette out in the mug. He opened a drawer and pulled out a prescription pad. "Gabapentin," Vance muttered. "It's not a narcotic. Yet, State is watching it, though. They want me to log it." "Efficiency implies discretion," Arthur said softly. Vance paused. He looked at Arthur again. A flicker of understanding passed between them. It was a transaction. "I can write you for a month," Vance said. 90 pills. 600 milligrams. Arthur did the math. 90 pills x 600 milligrams equals 54,000 milligrams total. His daily burn rate was 1,800 milligrams. Minimum. That was a 30-day supply. It wasn't enough. Not for the long game. "I travel," Arthur lied. "Project sites. Overseas. I can't come back every month. It's a logistical impossibility." He reached into his pocket. He pulled out another envelope. Contained $300. He placed it on the desk on top of a stack of files. "I need a quarterly supply," Arthur said. "Maintenance dose. I don't want to waste your time, Dr. Vance. And I don't want to waste mine." Vance looked at the envelope. He didn't touch it. 3 months, Vance said. "That's 270 pills. That looks like distribution." "I weigh 128 pounds, Arthur said, gesturing to his skeletal frame. "I'm not a dealer. I'm a user. I just want to be left alone to work." Vance snorted. It was a dry, hacking sound. "Quarterly supply," Vance said. "But you fill it here. We have a dispensary in the back. Cash only. No database." Arthur felt his heart skip a beat. No database. It was the Holy Grail. It was an off-grid node. "Acceptable," Arthur said. Vance scribbled on the pad. He tore the sheet off. $300 for the visit, Vance said, nodding at the envelope. Another $200 for the fill. Go see Maria at the window. Thank you, doctor. Don't thank me, Vance said, lighting another cigarette. Just don't die in my lobby. It's bad for business. Arthur walked out of the clinic 10 minutes later. He was carrying a white paper bag. Inside were 3 large white plastic bottles. No labels, no warnings, just tape on the caps. Inventory. Bottle 1, 90 capsules, 600 milligrams. Bottle 2, 90 capsules, 600 milligrams. Bottle 3, 90 capsules, 600 milligrams. Total load 162,000 milligrams. At his current usage, this was 90 days of silence. 90 days of the machine. He walked to the bus stop. The sun was shining through the haze of the Bronx. A siren wailed in the distance. Arthur clutched the bag to his chest. He felt a profound, overwhelming sense of security. It was better than money. It was better than love. It was control. He took out his phone. He opened supply_chain.xlsx. He deleted the other targets. He typed in a new entry. Source, Prime. Status, secure. Next refill, 90 days. He got on the bus. He sat in the back. He popped the cap of the first bottle just to check. The smell of the plastic was sweet. He swallowed 1 600 milligrams capsule, dry. A celebration. Phase 2 complete, Arthur Vane said to the window. Commencing optimization.